Hello everybody, welcome back. And week 2 after foundations from last week, week 2 is circadian healing. So from week 1, we went through identifying and knowing what it is you want. So a word for that might be goals. I think we can think of some other words rather than goals, that are more reflective of measuring the outcome that you get from the actions that you take. You identified and became clear in the why behind what you want, and you considered what steps you would take to provide yourself daily direction. So things like meditation, the best self journal, those different options that I went through. So the remaining modules are circadian healing, environmental healing, and nutritional healing. This week, I'm going to go through the circadian healing, and with all of these modules, they really are the start to the how. So you've identified what it is that you want or are seeking. You've identified why, or have become more clear on why you're seeking that. And maybe the most important part is how are you going to get there? And that's what these foundational, basic, back to the basic steps are. The circadian healing, environmental healing, nutritional healing. These are the how of getting you there. So in circadian healing, we're going to talk about our daily rhythm. Though I will primarily talk about sleep being the most important step to supporting this rhythm, it's also about routine or schedule. So as a reminder, there's no shortage of information. I've spent the last decade plus through academia, clinically, personally, sorting through information. I've prioritized what I found to be essential, and I left out the rest because what's essential is enough for us to focus on. Okay? So, speaking of schedules and routines, an analogy that I like to give when it comes to the circadian rhythm is babies. So many of you know I have a baby, toddler now, but a 1-year-old, and it's just a great reminder of treating ourselves like we would treat a baby as far as these basic needs, these basic aspects of our health. So, with a baby, you have a bedtime routine. Yeah, you're a little bit flexible with it, but you know that if you go off track too much or for too long, that the baby's going to get cranky or moody or, and then it's just going to wreak havoc throughout the rest of the family or the house. So even though we have more control over our emotions as adults, the same physiology is happening. There's some variance as we've grown, obviously, and gone through hormones and, all kinds of life changes. But I want you to think of it that way. So you really support yourself with a bedtime routine, with a daily routine or rhythm, some kind of predictability, schedule, or structure. Your body needs that just as much as your mind does. And when you don't have that, you're left to your circumstances. And, sometimes that can go good, but a lot of times it won't. So I want you guys to think of it that way. You can treat yourselves like babies. Give yourself a routine and a schedule. And trust me, when you get into the information that I'm going to share, you will see how important it is for your brain health, for your recovery, for your mood, for your hormones, for weight. Sleep more and lose weight. Okay, sounds like a pretty good deal to me. So I want you guys to think about that. So go at your pace through each of the sections below. Follow up with the circadian assessment form to get clear on where you stand with your circadian health, things like sleep hygiene, your schedule and routine, etc. And then lastly, I'm going to include a worksheet that will be your quick go-to checklist. This is what I want you to go back to once you've gone through this information and it gives you more meaning, more depth, more purpose. Then it's more appropriate to go to that checklist of, okay, how am I doing in this area? How am I doing in sleep? How am I doing in nutrition? How am I doing within my environment? So you don't necessarily want to start with that checklist right off the bat, because it will be superficial. You're not going to have the purpose behind it, the why, the understanding, knowing how it relates to you. So I want you guys to keep that in mind as well. All right, enjoy.